What's up, gamers? Today we're reviewing a piece of gaming tech, the Anbernic RG353PS. A ridiculous name to be sure, but this is going to be an interesting review, and you'll want to watch till the end to find out if this device is right for you or not. Let's get into it. I've been playing games for over 30 years, and I have to be honest, every time I think they couldn't get any better, they do. And recently, we've seen the emergence of a whole new gaming segment in these retro gaming handhelds. It's amazing watching this evolve at such a rapid pace. A few years ago, a device like this, at around $100, simply wasn't possible. And now, there seems to be a new one announced almost every week. For around $100, I think the build quality is actually very nice on this device. Having stacked triggers, I mean, look at that. That's great. The face buttons are all responsive, the D-pad is quality. Playing Celeste on here was super tight. The analog sticks though, they don't have much travel. You can see they're kind of inset and they just don't move a whole lot. It's definitely going to take some getting used to. That's probably the worst part of the control scheme. I really like that they splurged and put the stock OS on a sort of name brand SD card. And this is really small, but I actually really love the feel of the two round rubber pads on the back of the device. It just makes it so much more comfortable. This device is technically pocketable, but it's not comfortably pocketable. It's honestly only slightly larger than my own hand, but I really wouldn't want to carry this in my pocket all day. My only other complaint is the volume button. It's a stretch to get to. If you can see it right here, when your finger is across the R button, you just can't quite reach it. You have to really stretch and you end up pushing these buttons, and I wish I could adjust it on the fly a little easier. And I wish they had swapped this charging port and the volume rocker. It just would have made more sense in terms of usability as you're playing a game. But I know why you're really here. I know why you're really watching. And it's not for my award-winning personality. You want to know about the games. The games is what it's all about. Unfortunately, that's where the Anbernic RG353PS begins to show its $100 price point. If you watched my unboxing video, which I'll link up here, you know that some games ran better than others. Some of them ran better than I expected, and others wouldn't run at all. Of course, your 8 and 16-bit retro games are completely fine on this device. Even the 32-bit PS1 games run smoothly. But personally, I bought this to relive the games I loved on the Nintendo 64, and that's where things get tricky. Right out of the box on the stock OS, a lot of the 64 games I tried ran poorly, if they ran at all, and some of the ones that did run had messed up control schemes that needed to be remapped. For example, when I loaded up Perfect Dark, it ran, but the Nintendo 64 analog stick and the C buttons were both mapped to the left Anbernic stick. So every time I ran forward, I began looking straight at the ground. It was bizarre and unplayable. And then when I tried to play the campaign, it simply wouldn't load at all. So in an effort to see what this device could really do, I installed Arcos. And I gotta say, Arcos is really nice. Now, if you've never installed something like this, it's not a simple process. There are some tutorials out there, and there are wiki pages and forums, but at the end of the day, this is not for the faint of heart. However, if you get through it, what you'll find is a much more enjoyable experience. Perfect Dark was fixed. Other games that didn't run well before, like Perfect Dark and Wave Race, were now playable, but it still didn't fix every problem. I tried different emulators and sometimes got better results and sometimes didn't. I spent tens of hours on this project and still can't get Star Wars Rogue Squadron to even load. To me, the Anbernic RG35XX is a no-brainer for fans of retro gaming, and I'll link my review of that up here in the corner as well. In fact, if it had built-in Wi-Fi and NetPlay, it literally would be the perfect device. But this sister console, the Anbernic RG353PS, is much trickier. So who exactly is this for? Well, here's my breakdown. 1. If you're mainly interested in the 8 and 16-bit generations, just save $50 and buy the excellent Anbernic RG35XX. Use the link in the description and help support the channel at no added cost to you. If you love tinkering with your devices and want to play some 3D games on a budget, this is an excellent and well-built choice. Number 3, if you want a great experience without any hassle or fuss right out of the box, I'm sorry, but this is not the device for you. You'd be better off saving your money a little longer and buying the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus or the Anbernic RG353PS. I'll have links to all these systems in the description below, and I appreciate you using them as it helps support the channel by clicking. And that about wraps it up for the Anbernic RG353PS. It's comfortable, well constructed, it has a great screen and stereo speakers. It's just the lackluster performance out of the box that gives me pause. Again, with tinkering, it can play more than it does straight out of the box, but you'll have to decide if it's worth your time and effort. Do me a favor and please subscribe. I'm doing my best to bring quality content, and your support motivates me to keep going. Stay kind and encouraging out there, and I'll catch you on the flippity flip.